Hey everybody, welcome to the Brainal podcast. This is episode 26 and today is May 11th, 2016. I am Jeppy Condile.
And I am Frozen GFX.
Mr. Giggles.
And good coffee.
Giggles, we gotta work on a different way to say your name, man.
Mr. Giggles?
That's just a
Mr.
couple...
Giggle at you.
Mr. Giggles.
Mr. Haha.
So cruel.
What about,
My name is Giggles.
what about...
What about Mr. Giggles?
Try something else, Giggles. I'm just curious. Just right off the bat, what you got?
Coo.
I was bringing back bad memories. How are you all doing today?
Good.
Doing good.
Excellent.
Cool. Okay, so a lot of news came out this past week. So unless somebody wants to talk about something like what they've played this past week that's fairly interesting, I kind of, me personally, I don't want to talk about Uncharted 4. It's a little too soon. That just came out.
I think we should only talk about Uncharted 4.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I don't think so. But is there anything else special that anybody's been playing this past week? Anything new or?
Yeah, I've been playing something new this
Go for
week. A game that came out on May 9th, Stellaris, from Paradox Interactive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I butchered that name.
Paradox.
I was waiting for you to say Uncharted 4.
I was hoping he did.
So what's up with this game?
So, what's up with this game is that it's they promote it as a grand strategy game on a galactic scale. So basically, have any of you ever played Civilization or let's say maybe City Skylines or something like that?
Civilization years ago.
Okay.
Against my will.
Against your will. That's interesting. So it obviously, as I mentioned, it's a strategy game taking place in space. It's a very open-ended environment that you can go around. You can either start off with a civilization that's already pre-rendered with different attributes. You can create your own civilization and kind of build it from the ground up and just kind of explore not only your galaxy, but then to explore and out of your galaxy, create allies with other people in the game, other AI, do wars, things like that. And it's one of those games you have to manage your resources, you have to manage your progression throughout the game. But it's a very, very big game, lots of things to do in it.
Good,
but I've been having a blast.
Is it like
playing
an RTS?
Yeah, well, it does have those moments where you're gonna be battling with other people in that type of RTS way. But there's just a lot of exploring and a lot of civilization building within the gameplay for you to expand out. And then of course once you advance, I haven't gotten there yet, but once you advance, you can start initiating wars. You can start grouping up with allies and trying to take over galaxies and things of that nature.
I am
but
so bad at those games.
Normally I am really, really bad at those games, but this particular game had a very well thought out intro kind of it neatly described all the different abilities and features within the game and how they work together.
Nice.
So I didn't feel lost. It was probably like about an hour into like the introduction and how to play, but it didn't feel like I was learning. It felt like I was actually playing the game, and I was progressing on with what I needed to do, and everything was very well thought out.
Nice.
So it's definitely a game I'm going to spend more time into. It's a massive game. I'm not going to do any capturing for the site, or for YouTube. But it's been pretty fun.
That's cool. What other do you? I don't know. Do you happen to know any other games Paradox has done?
Yeah, so some of the games that I mentioned, City Skylines, is basically it's a game that you're in charge of a town, and you gotta manage your resources to.
Yeah, you were talking about that
you know,
game months back, and
Yeah.
I've heard really good things about that game.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool game. You can get really wrapped up into just how the mechanics work and how to like nurture your town. As a matter of fact, Pillars of Eternity, the game that I was playing a while back, is from Paradox Interactive.
Gotcha.
And one other one, Magica. The
Oh, they
series.
did Magica?
Oh, I know of
Yeah.
those. I have the second one
Yeah.
on my PlayStation. I haven't
Yeah,
played
everyone
that.
did. I think it's PlayStation Plus, right?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't tried it.
Yeah. So I mean, they've been around for a while, and one of the things with these, the games that they've released in the past is just they've been kind of very lacking in trying to get a new player to understand the concept of their gameplay. It just kind of throws them in, like Civilization just kind of throws you in, and you have to try to figure out how to do things. It's the same when it comes to like City Skylines. But I really like the approach that they did with this particular game and just introducing everything. It made it feel comfortable, and it was a natural progression. It was just great.
Cool. Awesome. Anything else from anyone?
Division, because it's amazing.
Yeah, we never talked about that on podcast, right?
I don't think we have. Because
Well,
I
me
had
and
the
you, I don't
computer
think we
trouble last week, so
The yeah, so because of Giggles, I picked it up while you were in town, and we played. And
Against
I
his will.
appreciate you
Against
walking
his
me
will.
through it. Yeah, I appreciate you walking me through it. So far, I'm having a great time with that game, but I really don't know where to start with describing that game. Really,
it to me it was like they basically looked at Destiny in a different setting because you're in New York City, and they were like, how could we make a game that fixed all the problems that Destiny had? And they're doing a pretty good job of it. There's a lot of bug issues right now, especially with matchmaking. So, and not only that, but the community is great and horrible at the same time, because the best of the community is also the worst of the community, because you only really get to see it in the dark zone, which is the PvP area. And
which for the record, I've not played yet because I'm only what am I level
you're
9?
just a baby. You're just a baby.
Yeah, I'm just a baby, a little Division baby.
Division baby. But you don't. So it's scaled from level 1 to level 30, and you can't enter the PvP, the dark zone area, which I don't want to say anything about because it's kind of a spoiler, but it is the PvP area, and that you can start going to at 15, and it's absolutely phenomenal. I love it. It's probably one of the best PvP things I've ever seen because it takes into like consequence and making like decisions that can ultimately screw you over or be the greatest decision you've ever made in the game. They have a lot of bugs. A lot of people complain. They came out with patch 1.1, I believe, a few weeks ago. It was kind of a disaster. The whole loot system's been kind of shot. And patch 1.2 was hopefully going to be released tonight, actually, at 3 a.m. But they released an official statement saying that they haven't officially released that patch yet. So no one knows. They're hoping it will be next week.
Hey, do they do any weekly refreshes like Destiny?
Yes. So you have So in Destiny, when we have like the weekly strike and the nightfall strike.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in this game, you have your daily missions, which get refreshed daily, and one of them's a challenge, and the challenge is like ridiculously hard. You need to have all four people in your party to do. Hard is just like a harder version. Like once you get a good enough gear, you can pretty much blow through that, and you can use end game currency called Phoenix credits to buy better gear, which is another thing they're trying to balance, because like right now you could have like I had gear at level 29 that after I got end game gear was still not better than what I had at level 29. So they're doing a lot to try to fix that. Like I'm working on a gear set right now called Sentry, and some of the gear I had, it's level 214, and my gear is 163 and it was better. So they're doing a lot to try to balance out, like, supposedly 1.2 is going to fix, and they're going to release a second. I'll call it a raid, for lack of a better term, but they're going to release a second one. And what I like about the raids is the raids can take hours, but once you figure out how the raid works, even if you don't have the best gear, if you have a good team and strategy and you're just tactical, you can literally beat it in like 20-30 minutes. It's not like Destiny, and I'm not saying like in Destiny, you know how people speed run?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a speed run, it's just a normal run. Like once you have the gear, you can just do it like a strike. And the rewards are much better.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
yeah, I'm
I've
having
been
fun with it. Man.
super impressed. I can't wait to get you into the PvP thing. But I strongly suggest is that if you like Destiny, you give this game a shot and, understand there are still some bugs they're working out, but they've been really responsive. I've been super impressed.
Awesome. What about you, Coffee? Anything new?
Nothing new. I'm still plugging through the second Danganronpa and got into some zany antics without going into spoilers. I've been enjoying it. Whole game series is nuts.
Yeah, can you tell me how many, I guess, or which chapter is you're in?
Oh, I just finished the first one, so
Gotcha.
I just got to the second.
Oh, that's right, because I remember you texted me.
Yeah.
I don't want to reply to that for like spoiler reasons. So.
Yeah, it's fine. That was an intense death scene they had there.
Under the table, right?
Oh no, I'm talking about the
Execution?
Yeah. That was
Oh,
that was
yeah,
ridiculous.
that's right. Yeah, it was the it was that the hey, that guy.
Yeah, the poor guy
man.
though. Felt bad for him. Anyway,
I'm glad you're continuing that game. That's awesome.
yeah, it's good. I see they're kind of they're really turning up just I just got to the part, without spoiling too much, I got to that old ancient looking building that reminded me of a building from something else, and I was just like, whoa, where is this going?
Yeah, it's nuts. That's great, man. That's awesome.
Anyway.
As for me, I randomly took a chance on a game called The Park. Have any of you ever heard of this?
Oh, I have. It's a horror game, right?
Yeah, and
No.
I just saw it was on PSN, and I love theme parks and clowns, and I just love it.
I love theme parks. Clowns could take a hike.
Oh no! Clowns! Sign me up for clowns any day. Yes. So the idea is, once I just saw that, I was like, man, well, I'll just take a shot on it. And I've only played one part for YouTube, but I really like it so far. It does seem to be another Haunted Mansion type thing where I don't think anything's going to hurt me, and it's just mainly jump scares, but I like that because I feel safe and scared at the same time. But it's cool. It's cool. The narration kind of reminds me, Frozen, of Town of Light. Not nearly the same setting, but the fact that it's just a woman investigating and talking to herself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which is cool. But...
Is it kind of like Firewatch almost?
No.
Like not as scary though?
No, it's so the premise is you pretty much are at this theme park. You just show up in a parking lot, and your son Callum, I think his name is, was a weird name. He forgot his teddy bear, or maybe you were gonna leave. He forgot his teddy bear, and you have to go find it. Of course, Callum looks like he's Damien from Omen,
Oh,
so
of
I
course.
feel like something's going on with him. But going in there, like he runs in before you, and you have to find him, and everything's extremely demented. Uh, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say so far. But really enjoy it, and I think, I mean, outside of that, I can't. Oh, and I did. This is not Uncharted 4, but I did beat finally Uncharted 3, so I was very excited about that.
How'd you
Nice.
feel about the ending of Uncharted 3?
the The ending, I liked it. I liked it a lot.
So,
How do you feel about the ending of Uncharted 3?
here's my question. Did you, because originally Uncharted was supposed to be 3, okay, it's supposed to be a trilogy.
Hmm.
Now, we're not talking about Uncharted 4, but do you think it warranted an Uncharted 4?
Okay. All right. I think it's unavoidable for us to talk about Uncharted 4, apparently.
No. I'm saying with the way Uncharted 3. I'm not even talking about Uncharted 4.
Okay, without getting into Uncharted 4, because I just want to say that for another week, the
Yeah.
end of Uncharted 3, I thought it was great.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
I thought it was a nice, let's tie it up, and all right, we're good to go.
Right. So that,
Yeah.
but that was my question. It wasn't anything about Uncharted 4. It was just when I first heard of Uncharted 4, I was like, I thought back to Uncharted 3 and the way it ended, and I was like,
We don't need
tied it
another
up.
one. Yeah. But I will say now, without going into detail, that I needed another one. I did, personally. Now. Anyway.
Hey, Coffee, I got a quick question for you. I don't know if you've ever explained it, but you don't play Destiny, right?
I do not.
Because you're
Yeah,
dumb.
No.
Why
'Cause he's smart.
is it just not?
I've played a ton of MMOs, and I played Borderlands, and you know, to me, I've heard about the horrible endgame grind from several people, not necessarily you guys, but from other people. I heard that it gets very grindy at the end, and I've already done that enough times with other games that I've heard have like more interesting stories. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. I hear the lore is actually really, really interesting for Destiny, but I've heard that the actual story itself is a little lacking right now. Maybe it's gotten a little better in expansions, but to me, when I play a game like that, I want to have a very, like, if it's gonna have me grinding for stuff like that, I want to make sure that the story's interesting enough to keep my attention.
See, I remember you played the alpha, and that turned you off from the game. That's what I remember you telling me.
Yeah, it did, because it reminded me a lot of Borderlands. And it was kind of like Borderlands mixed with Halo, and yeah, just wasn't for me.
I'll put it this way, going back to the Division, and Giggles and I talked about this. It's funny, the epic scale of Destiny is huge, right? Probably rivals close to Mass Effect scale.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, agreed.
But Division, just to New York, immediately, and I know Giggles agrees with this, immediately made me care more about what was going on in that plot versus what's going on in Destiny.
See, that was my thing. I'm a big story guy, so unless the gameplay is like super interesting, like Mario Galaxy or something like that, it just I just don't have the
You need
drive
the
to
story,
keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think the writing in Division's a lot better, and the characterization is a lot better, and I just care more about these characters. The characters in the Tower in Destiny don't do much for me, except with Taken King. What's his name? The Hunter Vanguard. I
Cade
forget his name.
6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did it. Oh, and ironically, isn't he Nolan North? No,
No, that's
No,
Nathan
he's
Fillion.
Nathan Fillion. That's
Yes.
right. Yeah, that's right. Nolan or someone else, I think, in there. But I like what they did with him. But outside of that, I just, the characters I care the most about are Xur and Shax and Frozen. Outside of that, don't care about anyone else.
Are those your player names?
Well, Frozen is, but the no Shax
Yeah.
is he's just he's the commentator, I guess, for the PvP, and he's hilarious.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a personal hatred against him.
And Zur is the intergalactic equivalent to the Resident Evil 4 merchant.
Oh wait,
It's the same guy.
what about Eris Morn?
Oh yeah, I like her, but she's kind
Yeah,
of
you
just,
forgot your baby, man.
Yeah.
she's not doing anything to really improve herself.
Wow. I didn't
Yeah.
realize there was
Well-
a breakup had gone on while I'd been gone. No one told me this is news.
It was the raisins. It was the raisins.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Coffee. I will say to this point, when you were mentioning about the grinding in other MMOs, you know, I've played a lot of MMOs in the past as well, but the grinding in those games is so much more than you will ever encounter in Destiny. The only bad thing I would say with Destiny is in order to get those equipment that's high level is just a random drop
Yeah.
at times.
I wouldn't
but-
be okay with that.
Okay.
Well, see, the thing is this. Like, recently I've been playing the last big MMO I played was Final Fantasy 15, and I love the story.
14.
14. I love the story for 14, and I had to put that down too. So, like, and especially if it's like a shooter, and I'm not the biggest shooter person in the first place. So, like, combining those two, I guess it's just not really my thing. Not to say that it's not
Gotcha.
a good game. I'm sure it is. I just not really my.
For me,
bag.
it's the camaraderie. That's what does it for me. Playing the game alone is it's all right, but playing it with people is a lot more fun. But you did, I think, when the Taken King came out, we had a discussion. We were in a car. You were telling me, you were asking me if you should pick it up, and I remember I told you no, but mainly because of what they do to like lead you along and it might get addicting or something like that. I forgot what I said.
Oh well, to be honest, I'm at the point where I'd rather continuously play different gaming experiences than settle on one for long periods of time. I get bored. So.
Yeah, I'm at the point with Destiny where I just like to hop in for a few hours a week now and just keep that going.
Yeah.
But the fact that we're still talking about a game that came out a year and a half ago.
Aren't they making a Destiny 2?
Yeah, it's coming out
they
in
are.
2017.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Wow, there was some excitement there. Maybe they'll make it be interesting enough for me to check out. We'll see.
Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, actually, they'll probably show something at E3.
I'm
Oh
sure.
my god, E3.
I keep forgetting about any Destiny announcements at E3. That's crazy.
So do we want to get into some of the news?
Yeah. First thing I want to mention is something that really caught me by surprise was that Disney Infinity was discontinued. You guys hear
I
about
saw
that?
that. Yeah. That was
Yeah, man.
really out of nowhere.
Well, from what I understand, it's not about Disney Infinity. It was more or less Disney as a whole made a decision to stop developing games, and they were just going to publish third-party games, I think. And unfortunately, Disney Infinity was a casualty in that, because from what I understand, Disney Infinity was killing it, but everyone's spinning it as if Disney Infinity was the target, and I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, but how could you cancel something that... I mean, I was reading something that it was, like, more successful than Skylanders. It was more successful, like, a lot of similar types of games. It was crushing all of them, from my understanding. I don't get how
Yeah.
you just get up and just be like, "Yup, drop the mic."
Especially with the Marvel and Star Wars properties they have now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I read somewhere, I forgot where it was. It might have been Engadget or something. I forgot that they're taking a near $200 million hit by doing this.
Wow.
But I mean, it's Disney, and
I mean,
they know what they're doing. But
they could take that kind of hit, though, but still.
it's sad, you know. And the studio behind the Disney Infinity's Avalanche Studio, and they're they're shuttering their doors too. And I also read, I was surprised, I didn't know this, that Ninja Theory helped develop or did some part in Disney Infinity. Had no idea.
I'm just glad it isn't affecting Kingdom Hearts, frankly. That's all I care about.
Oh yeah, it's true. Well, but again, they're not developing that, so
True, but they are third-party publishing.
no. Square Enix is publishing that,
Oh,
right?
well, I mean, it is in... Square Enix is publishing, yeah. What I meant is...
They're using their
they're
property, their
involved,
licenses.
yeah.
Yeah. So that I was like, wow, that's crazy, because it just seems to be getting more and more successful. But it is what it is. I'm pretty sure those people are gonna find jobs, but
I
no
felt
problem.
bad for them. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping Disney gives them nice severance packages, if anything. But either way,
So on a more positive news,
yeah. On a more positive news, Mass Effect was delayed to early 2017. You know
Oh.
what? Hey,
Yay!
I thought this was already announced.
Yeah.
Am I crazy thinking that?
I thought it was announced like months ago.
I thought it was a few months, or maybe it was just a rumor back then. But they EA officially announced that early 2017 is when Mass Effect Andromeda is coming out. Which honestly, that would have been a nice game to play in the holiday. But whatever. I mean, Mass Effect Andromeda is not a game that I would want them to rush out for any reason.
Yeah, but we should see more in E3. 'Cause I think they're going to do a press conference or something with it.
Maybe,
should be
but
interesting.
I'm hoping at least what they'll do is they will do remasters of the original trilogy, at least in the meantime, for
Yeah.
for this holiday season. I'd like to replay them all. They weren't terribly long games, correct? Each?
No, I don't think so.
I think the ones towards I think it got longer as it went.
I think so too. I'm hoping that Mass Effect 1, if they were to re-release it, they would streamline that game a little more with the what was it? Was it the Mako? Was that the vehicle you had?
Yeah.
With that, the mining and stuff on different planets. Even though I didn't mind it, but it'd be nice if they did streamlining. But what are you guys' your hype meter on that? 0 to 10, how hyped are you for new Mass Effect?
I'm standing at about an 8.5.
Yeah, I'm right now. I'm about a 7, but I know myself, and the closer it gets, it's just gonna get.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
just
gonna
going
get
to
crazy.
keep inching closer to 10.
Yeah, but think about it. It's been a long time. Again, how they did Dragon Age Inquisition was amazing. But when did Mass Effect 3 come out? It was the year before the Wii U came out, right?
I'm not sure.
I think it's like
so.
2011 or 2012, maybe. I don't know.
No, it came out in 2013. No, 2012.
Okay, so man, this has been cooking for a few years now. Now they have high standards to live up to, but we'll see.
I'll tell you, my hype level for it is about a 6, and it's probably because of the fact that once again it's another game that was designed to be a trilogy. So I want to see more about it before I allow myself to get hyped.
I hear you. Yeah. I get that. What about you?
I'm
That's
down
gonna
to
call you.
like a 3, if that.
Wow.
Yeah, like I don't know. For some reason, like I feel like Mass Effect finished for me when I beat the third one, and I'll probably wind up getting the fourth one. But right now, it's not. I'm not even really thinking about it like at all. So I don't know. I mean, when you talk about it, I'm like, oh yeah, Mass Effect, but it's really not. I'm not hyped really in one way or the other. I haven't really. I actually haven't even watched any of the trailers yet, to be honest.
I don't know if they've really had any trailers except the one.
Like
There was this
crappy
one where it
gameplay.
showed
It's kind of a
somebody looking
teaser.
At, yeah.
But not a fully fleshed out trailer.
Right.
Oh, okay, well, either way.
Yeah.
E3 baby.
Yeah. I'm curious to see
Woo.
what kind of. Anyway, all right. Let's see what else we got. We have. So we talked about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare last week.
Oh
I
god.
watched the trailer. To be honest with you, I I didn't dislike the trailer. I thought it was long, and I thought the fact that the details of it being in space was leaked kind of stole a lot from that trailer. But I do feel like isn't it the one of the most, if not the most, disliked YouTube video?
I think it climbed up to number 4 today,
Okay.
the fourth most disliked video on
Gotcha.
YouTube.
What's the
I just
first?
think I feel like a lot of that is very, I don't know, undeserving.
It's kind of, yeah, they're on the train. Everybody's on the train now
Yeah, they're on the hate train.
of doing that. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that hump has already gone over where there was legitimate, dislikes for the game, but then, rumor spread and everybody was like, oh yeah, let's just jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, I agree too. I mean, I thought it was definitely different, but it was strange.
But
Yes,
have you?
Battlefield 1?
Yes.
Yes, that's what I was getting at. So Battlefield
Okay.
1, that trailer came out. Very smart of EA to release this trailer now. It's as if they knew. A much shorter trailer, a much to the point trailer, but beautiful. I thought it was done really well. Have you guys seen that?
Yes, I have.
I have.
So World War One, right?
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be focused on World War One.
Yeah. So the it looks amazing. I thought when I first heard it was World War One, I thought it would be more. There were, I don't know. I kept picturing the original Battlefield games, as well as the original Call of Duty games. But this does seem to be very different artistic take on World War One, and it looks cool. Now I've never played a Battlefield game before. I'm it, I'm glad this game is being made. I probably won't get this game, but that's nothing against Battlefield in general. But it's funny because Call of Duty, so Infinity Ward is taking the chance of going to space, and what I think a lot of people are forgetting is that Battlefield did that was it Battlefield Hardline last year,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I don't think
Yeah.
that did too well. So I feel like I just feel like they learned their lesson. Let's just go back to basics.
I don't know. I don't think any Battlefield was good after Battlefield 2.
The Battlefields I heard that were really good were the Bad Company games. I haven't played any of them.
But that's why those games were good. Like, remember we were talking about with Division and Destiny how, like, they personalized it for you? Like, you cared?
Mm-hmm.
In Battlefield Bad Company, like, you actually cared about the guys that you were playing. It was like a group of guys that all knew each other. So they would talk with one another, they would say things, like, it made you be like, all right, I don't want this to happen to this guy, or, like, we gotta go get this guy.
Mm-hmm.
After that, to me, it was like they kind of jumped on a Call of Duty bandwagon. And once they did that, they weren't any different than Call of Duty.
Right,
And,
right. Yeah.
and I broke down like a Battlefield 3. I played that, and then I had all the issues with the servers and blah blah blah. And
They've had very bad service. Not
And I
just
was
3,
just
like
over it.
all of them.
then I will never play. I can't say I'll ever play a Battlefield again. And Call of Duty ruined it for me with this last one. So I'm just kind of done.
The you're talking about Black Ops 3?
Yeah,
Lops.
What was I?
more like Black Whoops 3.
I heard great things about it. I've never played it. But I'm not a Treyarch fan personally. But they might have changed. The thing with the trailer is just like kind of what you were referring to. Even though I really did enjoy the trailer, I guess it's a teaser. They have not shown any characterization whatsoever. It was just footage of just different action scenes that look cool.
Looks very cool.
But it was to the point.
Yeah, I think I might give it a shot when it comes out, because I just don't like the direction Call of Duty is going in, and I've never played any of the Battlefield games, just like you, Jeppy, but I don't know, but it may be something that is worth checking out.
Overwatch for days? Just saying.
You know what I think I did play but I don't know if it's a Battlefield game, but it was a one-off. Do you guys remember it was like Battlefield 1947, something like that?
1942 was it?
I don't know. I don't, but you know what I'm talking about.
I think so.
Yeah, it's a much smaller game, but I think it wasn't cell shaded, but it was a lot more. It was not as realistic as typical Battlefield games are, but I didn't play that much. Again, nothing against it, just what it is. But either way, Titanfall 2 has been announced to come out this fall, and that's all that's been said. But we do know that it's multi-platform. That's pretty cool.
Hey, don't you? Well, I don't know if you thought about this, but Infinite Warfare. When I took a look at that trailer, it felt like Titanfall. Like it was I was watching a Titanfall trailer.
No, not to me. I
No?
mean, there were no mechs. It felt more like Advanced
Mm.
Warfare mixed with like
Flops?
Interstellar with the robots. The robots look cool, but yeah, yeah. To me, it didn't. It just showed people getting in ships, right?
Yeah, but I could have swore I saw somebody in some type of a mech type of thing, but I could be wrong.
I didn't get that impression. But what are your kind of afraid to ask? What are your with your hype meter? All of you, how hyped are you about Titanfall 2?
I never
And be
played
realistic.
one, and I feel like I should have.
0.
0.
Yeah, mine's 0 as well.
Cold-hearted, just cold blood murder.
I just know
Yeah,
I'm-
right after you say one, Giggles.
I just know I'm not gonna get it. That's all. So.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna look into it. I'm not gonna look at the trailer. I'm passing.
I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see what they're gonna do that's so different from the first one.
The lad's single
put a number
player.
2 on it.
I don't
Maybe
know.
have a story. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm very curious to see what Respawn has to prove. That's what I'm more interested in. Respawn, yes, they do have the people behind the original Call of Duties, but I felt like they were just a little too overzealous on Titanfall. Kind of like, this is the end all be all game. There's gonna be, again, I do think it was personally a mistake to just have it Xbox One only, and Xbox Microsoft, I should say. But I'm very curious what kind of spin they're gonna have to put on Titanfall 2 because they haven't shown anything. But I feel like they're gonna show something. They have to show something different because that hype died down very quickly for the first one. Do you guys remember when they first were teasing Titanfall and Destiny? A lot of people were comparing the two together.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, a
You
lot
know
of
what,
people.
I remember hearing something.
But it was
about
mainly because
that.
of the studios. Because Destiny was former Bungie, and Respawn was former Infinity Ward. So everyone thought, they're trying to do the same thing, but I don't think they could be more different, which is crazy. But so that they announced that, no specific date though, and a piece of news that came out, I think it was today, that lit up my soul is that new Phoenix Wright game coming out in September, The
Yeah.
Spirit of Justice.
No one cares. Next.
Ooh.
By the way, go F yourself. Just saying. That game, I cannot, and the anime is fantastic. I freaking love that anime.
What anime?
Phoenix Wright.
Oh, dude, yeah, I can't wait for the 6th one. That comes out in September, did you say?
Yeah. And apparently the main mechanic in this game, or a new mechanic, is they use seances to either investigate or solve the cases or whatever. But I just hope they never stop doing this. But but they announced this one after they announced the 1800s one, but I haven't heard anything else about the 1800s one. Have you, Coffee?
I have not. Nope.
That's kind of interesting.
I wonder if they're going to skip it from coming over here. I hope they don't.
Oh, no.
No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, 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 no.
No, they better not.
No, no.
Yeah, I can't wait. But that's all the news that I had. What about you guys? Have any other news?
EA is having a new IP next year.
Nobody cares.
I care.
I'm
What
kind
else
of
do you know about it?
excited.
That's just coffee being coffee.
Delicious.
Bad coffee.
Is all that's been announced?
Yeah, I read it earlier. I don't remember more on what they said, but I was pretty excited about that. I've been, and Jeppy and I have talked about this multiple times. We talked about it at E3 last year. That
Yeah, because we were at E3.
Yeah, I was about to say you guys were at E3, right?
We were so bored there.
You were at the streaming event at your house.
Yeah, and I lost my voice. Once they dropped the remake, the FF7 remake, I was like, holy crap.
you know what? It's gonna be funny because you're gonna look back and be like, E3 2015. What do you remember? And the only thing anyone's ever gonna remember is Final Fantasy VII remake. That's it.
No, Shenmue 3? Are you kidding me? How about the whole Sony press conference thing and the disappointment that was Nintendo? The announcement of the year was Metroid Prime Federation Force. Boom, drop the mic, walk away.
Woo!
We're
Yeah,
done.
that's all you
Nintendo
need.
just won. That's crazy.
So, no further info on the new IP. It's just that
No,
The name,
I
concept?
happened to be skimming it. It's unannounced. They didn't say what it would be. It just said that they have something planned. I'm hoping that the article I read mentioned something happening soon, possibly in E3.
This is
Which
the
would be
most
cool.
vague news announcement.
hey guys, there's a new game coming out next year.
At
but,
some time in the future?
it's going to be on the consoles, and that's all.
Yeah, they're kind of keeping it tight-lipped. But I'll be honest. From E3, I'm kind of expecting big things because of the fact that there isn't much game news right now. I just feel like it's kind of quiet.
I feel like I feel I'm gonna be impressed by E3 because I have such low expectations for it. I feel like the only
Yeah.
place to go is up.
Yeah,
kind of
I'm really
agree
sad
with
about
you.
Nintendo. Like, just the lack of things.
Watch Nintendo surprise us all and just come out with
Fool
amazing
you.
stuff.
Fool you, it's Reggie. The system's
The NX
Reggie.
is here. That'd be great.
Speaking of Nintendo, they got the new starters announced for Pokemon Code Red and Baja Blast. It's not their names.
Are those new Taco Bell things coming out? Baja Blast!
No, I just I don't know if you guys have been paying any attention. I'm excited for new Pokemon because it looks great, but two of the new starters look pretty cool. One of them just looks like all the dumb, and I feel bad for whoever gets stuck with that piece of crap.
Wait, which one?
Is it the one that looks like a
the grass one?
Lucha Libre?
It's the one that looks like a water seal. The grass one's amazing. It's an owl
That's
with a bow
Poplio.
tie, dude.
Poplio.
Yeah.
It's right in front of me. The articles. I did not know that. Just letting you know.
Oh.
Water type seal. Rowlet is the owl. Litten
Yeah,
is a fire kitten. Oh.
yeah, it's
That's
lit.
not-
It actually
that's a
licks
cat
its
on
fur
drugs.
and then shoots flaming hairballs at its enemies. It's pretty awesome, actually.
I hate cats.
I do too, which is why I'll probably pick the owl. But everyone's gonna pick the owl. Everyone's gonna pick the owl.
This would be the first Pokemon that if I got it, I wouldn't go fire. I always go fire, and I won't this time.
Hold up.
Fire!
Hold up. After everything you said, Giggles, back when X and Y came out, right? Doesn't this go back to, this might be a sore subject, doesn't this go back to Final Fantasy 14 and Team Red versus Team Blue? Am I wrong in bringing that up?
I'm just
And now you're
Yes.
telling me after all this time because a cat shook your foundation
cat.
of
He's
fire
allergic.
so much, you're like,
he's
no.
allergic. I don't know. I think
listen.
he's still salty about getting rolled out on, or was that yeah, the rollout.
Oh, Dunsparce.
It's
The
a
last thing I ever
Dunsparce.
did in that game is the greatest thing I ever did in any game.
Dunsparce uses be a Dunsparce and rolls out.
forgot. Hold on. I gotta relive it. I have to relive it. Thank you for bringing that back, Coffee.
I'm
How
hanging
much?
out
This
on
was
this
almost like
podcast
with
right
what
now.
Frozen did with Street Fighter Five. So how much?
Oh,
how much
God,
crap
shut
were
up.
you talking, Giggles?
Listen, you got one lucky thing, and the game
All I
glitched,
did was
and you
press
somehow missed.
A, and I couldn't stop the attack. The
Rollout
onslaught.
gets progressively more powerful next turn.
And I saw it in person. I saw your
Rollout is
heart
getting
just-
used by a weird looking thing called Dunsparce.
Oh man,
Dunsparce kills all of Giggles' Pokemon.
Giggles, hold up, because up to like 10 seconds ago, I did not care about this game. Giggles, are you gonna get Sun or Moon?
I might have to now to like redeem myself.
I'm gonna get it.
As long as
You should watch the
Dunsparce is-
new trailer. Like they really upped the graphics. Like it looks really good. It almost
That-
reminds me of like
Of a good 3DS game?
Dragon Quest or something. Like with the way it looks.
Hey, isn't Dragon Quest 7 supposed to come out this year? Maybe 8 too?
Yeah, actually,
That's cool.
7 is. If you got 130 hours to spare or whatever, no big deal.
Oh man, I'm gonna. This is gonna be the only Pokemon. Once I get Dunsparce, that's all I need. Train him up to beef status.
I think I'm just gonna get Popplio and watch it look like have the most amazing final evolution. It just has like a million, like it just has machine guns. Like it doesn't even. It's like this is what you guys get for crapping all over me. It just murders all the Pokemon with machine guns.
That'd be cool.
It would be. Forget the kids.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Oh,
yeah,
by
it's
the way,
good
did
news.
anyone see the
I
new
got-
Sherlock Holmes trailer?
What does that have to do with anything?
Hold up.
Wow.
Wait, are you referring? Is it a new Sherlock Holmes game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm like,
Okay, I was
I
about
don't
to
know.
say,
Have you
dude.
guys read the latest, the new Harry Potter book coming out? I don't know. Just want to talk about.
Hey guys,
This
you want to
should
see
be-
X-Men Apocalypse?
No, I didn't. I didn't know there was a new game. That's exciting. What is it?
It's called Sherlock Holmes: The Devil's Daughter, and it actually
that's
the
cool.
trailer. I honestly, Jeppy, I thought of you when I looked at this game. I even thought of you too, Frozen. I figured you guys might actually be interested in this one. It seemed kind of up your alley. Kind of like a mind bender suspense kind of game.
Is this by the same people who did Crimes of Punishment?
That I don't know.
I'll have to
I
look
just
up more on
watched the
this because
trailer.
I'm excited. I really like Crimes of Punishment.
I think that if you watch the trailer, I think you'd be very impressed.
Did they say when it's gonna come out?
I believe sometime in the early summer, late spring of this year, I think.
Oh, like imminent. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
and
was
it's
not aware
a
of that.
multi-platformer, and it's by Frog something. I
Yeah,
forget
they did the last. That's cool. That's exciting. Thanks,
So-
man. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah,
Are you- wait,
they
are
were
you
the
making
ones
this
who
up?
did Crime and Punishment.
No, I think I remember hearing about that title at least. Pretty sure.
Wow, that's great. I didn't know that. That's great. It's exciting. Cool.
So I think that was exciting.
I got one piece of interesting information.
Go for it.
So Hideo Kojima was quoted in saying that VR holds the key to game development for the future.
Oh God, what does that mean from him?
Yeah,
I bet that's
a
code
pretty
like
big
I
statement.
am Metal Gear. VR is now.
So
V has
in
to
an
come
interview
to-
that in an interview that he gave, or that he sat down with Famitsu, from what came out of it, he was very interested in the development of VR games in the future. He says currently he's not actively pursuing anything because he doesn't have anybody in his team that's experienced with it. But it doesn't mean that in the future, once this was just kind of speculated, once the PlayStation VR comes out, there should be some advancements to see what capabilities that can do for some games in the future. And he said that he may start developing games for that. Now, Another rumor is, last podcast I believe I told you about Guillermo del Toro's kind of cryptic
Quiet
little
Mountains.
Twitter. Yes, Quiet Mountains, right? So there was also a quote from Guillermo saying that there's interesting things in the horizon as it pertains to virtual reality. So who knows what's going to happen if, it's a huge rumor to say that, maybe they'll work on something together that could be Silent Hill like,
For the
or,
VR, I would poop my pants like straight.
Yeah.
Like just brown pants for days. No.
Yeah, I would too.
So who knows what's going to come up out of that? But he also mentioned that Kojima Productions is working on a new title, which apparently fans of Uncharted and The Division should enjoy. So hopefully we'll start getting more information on that as it comes. But
The hell?
I thought it was pretty interesting that he, threw his hat in the ring as far as the whole VR thing, and it's a pretty huge announcement that he's thinking about developing some games in the future with that.
Huh.
Well, the cool thing about doing VR for him is, from what I understand, most VR games now are not huge, big games. And since they're smaller, I think that's something
Yeah.
he'd be much more comfortable developing for. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's very exciting. You know what? You know what game I want to play? What's that one game he did way back? I think it was for the Sega Saturn or CD. I forgot if it's Snatcher or if it's Police Knots. I forgot which one I'm thinking of. But if he were to do something like that again, that would be cool. But either way.
Yeah, so who knows?
Any other news? I'm out.
I'm done.
Yeah,
Cash
I'm
me
too.
out.
Peace.
All right, Frozen, what you got?
Oh, question of the week.
Yeah, Lord.
Okay, so, okay, do you all remember your first online game that you played? And if you do, what game was it? And what was your gamer tag
Oh jeez.
when?
Man, I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
think.
because I'm thinking of. I thought about asking that because mine's pretty embarrassing
Mine is
and pretty
too.
stupid as far as my yeah. So I was interested to see if you guys had any stupid ones that you regretted.
Yeah. My first online game, I think, was Diablo 2. I remember. That wasn't. I don't know if you would consider Diablo an MMO, but I mean, my first MMO was Final Fantasy 11, but Diablo 2 was the first online game I played with my friends, and man, I spent hours and hours and hours playing that game and dungeon running and farming for loot and putting on Pindlebot and then getting banned by Blizzard for putting on Pindlebot, but worth it. Anyway, I think I remember my name. It was actually it was Dark Harvester 16. which is actually a reference to an Invader Zim episode called The Dark Harvest.
No, I'm pretty sure that's not true. I'm pretty
It-
sure you just wanted to be
No,
a man very
Dark
bad.
Harvester.
no, it's you could look up Dark Harvest. It's one of that's the reason I created it, is because of the Invader Zim episode, and because it sounds so manly, obviously. I'm the Dark Harvester 16, because that's my age when I made this. Blah. Okay.
I think for me, I don't remember. It had to have been a DS game. And it might have been Mario Kart DS, where Frozen, you completely schooled me in. Or I'm trying to think of other online games. It had to have been Mario Kart DS. But I didn't have I don't remember having a screen name, but I could tell you my very first video game name that I ever made, even though it's not for internet play, was for Perfect Dark. You know this, Frozen. It was very insensitive at the time, and today it's very insensitive. But in Perfect Dark, just like a lot of FPSs now, if someone were to kill you, it'd say so and so killed you, and so I thought it would be funny if I did lung cancer. So it would say lung cancer killed you, but I messed up the typing, and I did lung banter.
Oh, that makes sense.
But I loved how it sounded, and I just stuck with it. And I think lung banter was my very first Xbox 360, my original gamer tag, and then I changed it to Jeppy Condyle. After, that's the correct way to say Jeppy Condyle. So that's the correct way to pronounce it.
Jeppy
Condyle. But the yeah, I mean that's what it is for me. I'm pretty sure it's Mario Kart DS. So.
Wow.
Yeah, hardcore online community there.
Giggles?
I'm trying to think. That was feels like a lifetime ago.
Dark Harvester.
You shut your damn mouth.
16.
My first, it would have to be, man. It would, it's a toss-up between two. One would have to be Final Fantasy XI, because I played that right before I played WoW. And I don't even know what my name was for that, it was so long ago. But that, you can make your own character name, so I probably made something for my character. I just don't remember. It was Isaac something, and I couldn't tell you what it was. And then the original
Isaac,
might have been
the Dark Harvester, 16.
Does anyone remember RuneScape?
Yes.
I've heard of it. Never played it.
That might have been the first real one that I played, and I was Knight Fate, and that was my name.
Wait, Knight with a K or no?
With a K.
Okay.
And that was because Fate was from Star Ocean, and I like that name. It was spelled Fayt, so it was
Okay.
Knight Fate
Okay.
in RuneScape.
That's not bad. I don't think that's bad.
So that was mine. I think that. Wow! Oh my God! How long ago was that? Yeah. That would have to be my answer for that. I can't think of anything even past that point.
Cool. Well, for me, my first online game was for a game called Ultima Online. And, man, this was when I was in high school. And, Jeppy, you'll know who I'm talking about. The breakdancer of our group told me about a game that he was playing, and I was interested in it. So I picked up Ultima Online, but then I found out it was like a monthly charge to play online, and of course, trying to explain that to my parents back then was impossible. So they didn't put up the bill or pay the bill for it. So I found out that you can play on like private servers. So talked to our friend. He mentioned a server to go on, but this was a role-playing server. And again, this is the first time I'd ever played an online game, let alone, knew what the hell a role-playing server was. But in the application process, because you needed to register and have like an application to be approved in order to gain access, you need to come up with a character name, which is going to be your online gamer tag. And then like a little background story. So I was reading a comic book at the time. I don't remember the comic book's name, but there was a character named Alderaan. So I chose that name and created a stupid backstory of some kind of elven character. And when I got in, I got accepted, I got approved. And when I started playing the game, I had a lot of people come up to me asking me why my character's name is Alderaan, because that's from Star Wars, planet in Star Wars. And I had no idea about this thing. But then people started getting on me so much about it that I figured, look, it's not worth me playing this game if people just keep on asking me and berating me that, I'm not following the role playing rules in this game because I'm a character from Star Wars.
So you're saying it's was Star Wars a comic you're reading, or it's a coincidence that the name was used in two different things?
It was a coincidence that it was named two different things, but it was such an embarrassing experience because having people come up to me and be like reporting me for not following the rules of their role playing server because
I think they should be
I happened
embarrassed,
to.
not you.
Yeah, well, back then, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, so I was like, "Oh my god, this is crazy! People are making fun of me," so I stopped playing. But
Do you know that game
yeah,
still
that was my
exists?
first one.
You scared the crap out of me, Giggles. Sorry.
Do you what? Yeah, I know it still exists.
That's amazing.
You're amazing.
Yeah.
That reminds me. Last night, Frozen and I were playing Destiny,
Yeah, you were.
and we came up with this idea
Yeah.
with the tower, and some people just had really funny but also really crappy names. And the thing with PlayStation Network, the best part is you can't change your name. That's the best thing about it. It's just we were coming up with these voices for these amazing guardians that help save the galaxy, and one was called what was the name?
God. My name is Kevin.
Something just stupid. It was so funny. And so we were actually thinking of doing a YouTube series where we hop on and we just point out all the worst names that there ever are. It'd be great. Giggles, you should definitely hop online. We'll start with you.
My name's fantastic.
Oh man.
It is.
You can take that to the bank.
And do what with it?
Cash
a
it
lot
in
of
for nothing because it's worthless.
I think we should
Cash
all
it in
play
for the
Ultima
lols.
Online.
Overall,
not
has
going
returned. They
back.
never left Frozen.
I
They
know,
never
right?
left.
He's like
They've been
king of
waiting
the-
for the
You get
Messiah to
you
come
go
back.
you go to the new players area, and there's like a statue to Alderaan, like right there when you walk in.
Right.
And you just walk in like, oh, many morning.
What?
Oh
be great.
man.
Oh man, good online names.
At least it wasn't as
Dark
bad as
Harvester.
my Final Fantasy XI name.
What was that?
Well,
Like-
when you said that it was from something, that's not too bad.
Yeah, well, my Final Fantasy XI name was One Winged Angel, so there's that.
Oh, I thought you were talking. Oh no, you were talking about. What was it? What was the game you were playing?
Diablo.
Diablo 2. That's
I'm
right,
glad
that's
you were
right.
paying attention.
No, yeah, I forgot because you also mentioned Final Fantasy, didn't you?
So
I did.
Dark Harvester
Yeah.
to good coffee. Is there a connection there?
Because that's my joke. Harvesting the darkness of the beans. Because they're
Yeah.
delicious. I like it dark
Yeah,
with
man.
coffee. No, it has no relation whatsoever, actually.
You know what word I love from Mass Effect 2 is harbinger. That word's so cool.
Harbinger.
Now
say
it
it
just
like
became
that.
not cool. I don't
Twisted
know.
Harbinger.
Harbinger. Oh, I got the
No,
harbinger.
he hates it.
God, I should not have said that.
No, he hates it so much. Keep going.
No, I'm never gonna say anything that I like in front of coffee. He will destroy it. He will harvest a darkness and destroy 16
Ah, the
times.
harbinger.
So he's still doing it because that's what he does. Anyway, anything else you guys want to add?
The harbinger.
All right, everyone. Bye.